Welcome to Royal Secret. A powerful royal moment has just surfaced that's melting hearts across Europe and beyond. In a quiet, behind-the-scenes exchange rarely captured on camera, two of Denmark's most beloved young royals, Prince Christian and Princess Isabella, were seen blowing kisses to their father, King Frederik X. But this wasn't just a cute family moment. It was a powerful, unscripted gesture of love, caught in the golden light of a royal transition, and it is now being hailed as one of the most emotional glimpses into the future of the Danish monarchy. What does this moment really tell us? What hidden messages are we seeing from Denmark's royal children, and what does it say about King Frederik's influence as a father and a monarch? In this exclusive deep dive, we'll take you behind the palace walls into the unseen heart of the Danish royal family, uncovering how Prince Christian and Princess Isabella's private gestures speak volumes about loyalty, legacy, and love. So settle in, because this is not just another royal headline. This is the royal story that reveals the soul of a family preparing for the future, one tender kiss at a time. It was supposed to be just another quiet royal transition, behind the grandeur of palace walls and beyond the reach of the usual pomp and protocol. But the cameras caught something different, something stunningly intimate. During a brief pause in the official schedule, a moment never meant to be made public, Prince Christian, the future King of Denmark, and his younger sister Princess Isabella, were seen blowing kisses toward King Frederik X. It was instinctive, natural, real. There was no ceremonial music, no photographers jostling for position, no rehearsed choreography. Just a father, watching his children, and two heirs, his pride and his future, sending back pure affection in return. For a family so often seen through the stiff lens of protocol, this one moment broke through the public image with unprecedented emotional clarity. It reminded everyone watching that this royal family, no matter the titles, are first and foremost a family. Let's take a moment to truly understand why this seemingly small gesture has resonated so powerfully. King Frederik X has always been portrayed as a monarch who bridges the divide between royal tradition and modern fatherhood. He surfs, he runs marathons, he's approachable and often playful in public. But more than anything, he's fiercely devoted to his family. And it shows. Sources close to the palace have long confirmed that Frederik is deeply involved in the day-to-day lives of his four children. Prince Christian, as heir apparent, naturally shares a strong connection with his father, often accompanying him on public duties. But Princess Isabella, known for her confident presence and flair for the unexpected, also shares an increasingly visible bond with her father. Together, these royal siblings didn't just blow kisses. They sent a message to the world: we see you, we love you, and we support you. For Frederik, now reigning after the abdication of his mother, Queen Margrethe II, this silent moment may have meant more than any official speech. It was his children telling him, "You've got this. And we've got you." Now, why does a kiss, even a symbolic one blown from afar, matter so much in royal history? In monarchies across Europe, body language has always held meaning. From the bowing of heads to the clasping of hands, gestures are choreographed and deeply scrutinized. But the blown kiss is different. It's spontaneous, it's informal, it breaks the script, and when it comes from royal heirs to a reigning monarch, it becomes a subtle act of both love and loyalty. In fact, throughout history, royal families have used private gestures to convey deep truths. Queen Elizabeth II's hand signals to her staff, King Felipe VI of Spain's family embraces at public events, or even the way King Willem-Alexander of the Netherlands holds his daughter's hands during formal ceremonies, these are not random. They are the heartbeat beneath the crown. In the case of Prince Christian and Princess Isabella, the blown kiss doesn't just show affection. It marks the next generation's readiness to support the crown, not just by duty, but by heart. Prince Christian of Denmark, born in 2005, has always known that one day, the crown will be his. But never has that reality been more palpable than now. At just 19 years old, Christian is already being shaped as a modern king in training. In recent years, he has taken on more public engagements, given speeches, and stood beside his father in state functions, not as a boy, but as a young man learning to wear the weight of legacy. And yet, even with all the pressure and formality, this recent behind-the-scenes moment shows us something extraordinary. Christian is still grounded in love. He didn't have to blow that kiss. He didn't have to make that moment public. But he did, and in doing so, he showed the world that the future King of Denmark has not just wisdom and poise, but heart. This is leadership, not by command, but by connection. And then there's Isabella, the second child of King Frederik and Queen Mary. She may not be in direct line for the throne, but she has captivated Denmark with her bold fashion, fierce confidence, and striking resemblance to both her parents. At 17, she stands on the edge of royal adulthood, having recently dazzled in a series of formal engagements that hint at her growing importance in the monarchy's future. But what she did in this quiet moment, sending a kiss to her father, reminded viewers that she isn't just a royal presence. She's a daughter, filled with admiration, joy, and loyalty. For many watching, Isabella represents the strength and independence of the Danish monarchy's younger women. And in this gesture, she reminded us that strength and softness are not opposites. Let's take a moment to focus on the man at the heart of this moment, King Frederik X. Ascending the throne in January 2024 after Queen Margrethe II's historic abdication, Frederik's reign has so far been defined by continuity, compassion, and quiet strength. But perhaps the greatest proof of his success as a monarch comes not from state visits or political speeches, but from his children's spontaneous gestures of affection. That kiss, it was a lifetime of fatherhood, respect, and bonding, all reflected in 1 second. It's often said that the best leaders are not measured by what they say, but by how their children live, love, and led. By that measure, King Frederik has already won. Within hours of the moment being posted by a royal media source, it began trending. Danish citizens commented with tears and hearts. Royal watchers across Europe shared the video, calling it the most authentic royal moment in years. Headlines in Germany, Sweden, and the UK called the scene a masterclass in royal warmth. Even commentators critical of monarchies couldn't help but admire it. In an era where many royal families are struggling with scandal, detachment, and dwindling public support, the Danish royals, especially their younger generation, are offering something rare. This is what people crave: realness behind the rituals, family behind the formality, and heart behind the headlines. And this is exactly what they got in that kiss. To fully appreciate the emotional impact of this moment between Prince Christian, Princess Isabella, and their father King Frederik, we must take a step back in time, to Queen Margrethe II. Her 52-year reign defined stability, tradition, and cultural stewardship. But she was also known for her restrained, almost theatrical brand of monarchy. Public emotion was rare, and personal gestures were often guarded behind carefully scripted appearances. But Queen Margrethe's greatest gift to Denmark wasn't just her artistic legacy or diplomatic leadership. It was her son, because when she passed the crown to King Frederik X, something shifted in the heart of the monarchy. It softened. And much of that evolution can be credited to Frederik's marriage to the Australian-born Crown Princess Mary, now Queen Mary of Denmark. Together, they've rewritten the rules of what royal parenting looks like. Queen Mary's influence, the emotional backbone of a royal family. From the very beginning of her royal life, Queen Mary brought warmth, empathy, and maternal strength to the palace. While Frederik brought the history, she brought the heart. She made sure their children were raised not as distant heirs, but as grounded individuals with deep emotional intelligence. And nowhere is this more evident than in Prince Christian and Princess Isabella. The quiet, unrehearsed moment when they blew kisses to their father is not a performance. It's a reflection of how they've been raised, to love openly, to show affection, and to support one another, not just as royals, but as humans. In many ways, Queen Mary has become the emotional cornerstone of the modern Danish royal family, and her influence is now being seen in how the next generation expresses love without fear or formality. Royal families often struggle to find the delicate balance between tradition and modernization. Scandals, coldness, or outdated customs can quickly alienate the public. But the House of Glucksburg, Denmark's royal family, has consistently remained among the most respected in Europe. Why? Because they've built their strength not on distant symbolism, but on family unity. That simple moment, two children blowing kisses to their father, encapsulated everything the Danish monarchy stands for in 2025: affection, connection, and the ability to be royal without becoming removed from reality. The success of any monarchy lies in its ability to evolve, and in this moment, we saw evolution personified. In the world of European royalty, siblings often walk drastically different paths. In some families, one sibling ascends while the others fade quietly into the background. But Denmark seems poised to offer something different. Prince Christian may inherit the crown, but Princess Isabella is shaping her own spotlight. And it's not just due to her position in the line of succession, it's because of who she is. Let's take a closer look at how each sibling is forging their unique place in royal history. Since birth, Christian has known that he will one day wear the crown. This knowledge has given him a natural gravitas. He is calm, poised, serious when needed, but never without a spark of curiosity. He listens more than he speaks, and when he does speak, people listen. In state visits, he already mirrors his father's tone, diplomatic, gracious, and articulate. But beneath all the formality lies a heart deeply connected to his family, as we saw in that kiss to his father. This future king may not be loud, but his affection speaks volumes. By contrast, Isabella brings fire. She is bold in her fashion, charismatic in public, and increasingly hailed as the Danish royal with a modern edge. At just 18, she's already stolen the spotlight at numerous events, unafraid to crack jokes, pose confidently for cameras, or deliver messages with style and strength. Yet despite her strong personality, Isabella's blown kiss wasn't a dramatic performance. It was sweet, sincere. It showed that she, too, carries the family's emotional DNA with grace. Together, Christian and Isabella are shaping a royal future that balances tradition and transformation. One grounded in love, not protocol alone. Let's pause and ask a deeper question. Why do we care so much about one private moment caught on camera? Because in a world of performative social media, scripted interviews, and carefully choreographed press appearances, authenticity is rare. And when it comes from the uppermost levels of power, from royalty, it's even rarer. This moment reminded us that real emotion still lives inside palace walls. It showed us that even the most formal institutions still run on love, not just law. And maybe most importantly, it reminded us that the most powerful expressions of leadership sometimes come not from a throne, but from a glance, a smile, or a kiss blown quietly behind the scenes. The Danish monarchy is undergoing a subtle, yet powerful transformation. From Queen Margrethe's carefully curated reign to King Frederik's emotionally grounded leadership, to the blossoming public roles of Christian and Isabella, this is a royal family learning to feel in public. But the question remains, is this enough to carry the monarchy forward into a new generation? If public opinion is anything to go by, the answer is yes. Polls following the release of the behind-the-scenes moment showed a spike in public affection for the young royals. Social media overflowed with messages like, "This is the kind of monarchy I want to support. They're not just royals. They're a real family." My heart melted watching Christian and Isabella. The monarchy, often accused of being out of touch, suddenly felt more human than ever before. Historically, royal families have tightly controlled media access. But Denmark has always stood apart with its more relaxed, Scandinavian approach. Still, the moment between Christian, Isabella, and King Frederik wasn't part of any official press release. It was shared almost casually, an informal clip, with no announcement, no fanfare. And yet, that made it even more powerful. Because in an age where monarchies are scrutinized, debated, and even protested, this brief, unscripted interaction sent a subtle but seismic message: we're not just a symbol. We're a family. The media picked up on this immediately, using words like genuine, heartfelt, and hopeful. In contrast to the cold scandals of other European courts, the Danish royal moment felt warm, wholesome, and, most importantly, real. While we see only glimpses of royal life, palace insiders and close friends of the Danish royals often speak of the deep bond shared by Frederik, Mary, and their children. It's said that family dinners are a constant, not a rarity. That Frederik often picks his children up from school himself. That Mary keeps handwritten notes in her children's school bags when she travels. This behind-the-scenes parenting doesn't just raise heirs. It raises humans. And it shows. The kiss from Christian and Isabella wasn't staged. It was the natural outpouring of years of closeness, nurturing, and emotional safety. And in that one moment, the entire world got a peek behind the curtain, and saw something stunningly simple: a family in love. As King Frederik settles into his reign, he's already being hailed as a people's monarch. But even more than that, He's being recognized as a father whose children will lead with kindness, not just charisma. And that's exactly what Denmark, and the world, needs. The next generation of royals must be more than ceremonial. They must be empathetic, authentic, and emotionally aware. And if this moment was anything to go by, Prince Christian and Princess Isabella are ready. Not just to lead one day, but to connect. Thanks for watching.